Hey everyone, this video is going to be a product review of the KitchenSafe or the kSafe, and I'm going to tell you my opinion about it and explain to you why it's an awesome product. So this thing is a container. It has a lid and a base. It's about 18 centimeters tall. It's 16 centimeters wide at the top and 14 centimeters wide at the bottom. Although it looks sort of like a normal container, it is not at all. What makes it different is the lid. This big fat lid contains a motor, this dial, and a display on the front. When you rotate the dial, you increase the time on the display, and whenever you reach the amount of time that you want to lock the container for, you simply press on the dial, and after 5 seconds, the box will lock for that time that you set. If you want to prevent the box from locking after pressing on the dial, you have 5 seconds to regret that decision by pressing on the dial once more. The battery compartment is right here on the side. If you try to take out the batteries while the timer is running down, the only thing that happens is that the timer will stop, and it won't resume until you put the batteries back inside. In other words, there is no way to get around the lock if you've locked the box. The only way to get around it is if you destroy the box, and that means you've made the product worthless, because if it's destroyed, you can't use it. So basically, once you've locked something in there, it's locked. So why is this awesome? Well, you can lock anything in there. You can lock anything that you have a hard time resisting. Anything that you know you shouldn't do or use, you can put it in the box and lock it up to 10 days. This is great because if you're wasting willpower on resisting something, you can now save that willpower by just locking it away. And once it's locked away, you know there's no possibility of you using whatever's in there, so you're just gonna have to deal with it and you don't have to resist anything at all. So I got this as a gift. It was kind of as a joke because I ate way too many cashews. We buy these massive bags of cashews and I just can't stop eating them. I freaking love cashews and they're just so tasty, and for whatever reason they're not really filling for me, so when I start eating cashews I just go nuts for the nuts and I can't stop. So yeah, the box has helped me to restrict my cashews consumption, and it's done so quite nicely. When I know that I've had enough, I just put them in there and I lock it up and then I forget about them. So what other uses does this box have? Well, say you're a smoker and you like to puff on cancer sticks, well, you could throw those in the box along with the lighter and lock it away for a day or whatever time you want. If you spend too much money, if you are addicted to buying shit on the internet, you could put your credit card in there, you could put your wallet in there. If you eat too much junk food, you can put that in there too, just like my cashew nuts. If your thing is like chips and you eat way too many chips, eat half the bag, put the rest in there, and lock it away for another day. It rhymes. You can even use it for restricting gaming. Say that you or your spouse or whoever, your child, plays too much of like a PlayStation or something, you can put the controller in the box and lock it away. Say it's on the computer and you have to log into some service to play a game. You could create a new password that is impossible to remember. It's just a long string of random digits and letters, and you put that in the box, and the only time you can play is when the box is unlocked and you can take out your password. You can also put the computer mouse in there if you want to prevent yourself from using the computer at all. And of course you can also put your phone in there. If you're being really distracted by your phone as you're trying to focus on something, you can throw that little sucker in there and lock it away for an hour and get some work done. So the pros and cons of this product. First off, it comes with 2 batteries to use in the lid. That's awesome. I love when that happens. No need to go buy batteries or figure out where you've stored your batteries. Another pro is that you can choose between opaque and transparent walls. I totally recommend getting the opaque walls, by the way, the walls that you can't see through, because from what I've read in books about willpower, it's way harder to resist something if you can actually see it. So you would like to hide it from your view, and that way it will just tempt you way less, even though you can't really access it once it's locked in the box. You can also choose different colors for the lid. Another plus is that the sound that the box makes when it unlocks is extremely satisfying, because it means that you've gone through the period that you set. And of course, it's really great for any vice that you might have, whatever that might be for you. The cons are that, first off, it's a bit pricey, which actually isn't that bad, because if it's pricey, you will be less likely to destroy it and just buy a new one. You could imagine that if it was cheaper, you would destroy it and just buy a new one without feeling too bad about it because it's not too expensive. But at this price range, it deters you from destroying it, which is a good thing. Another con is that I think it's a bit big. I mean, it's not huge. It's a nice size, but I would have liked to have had a smaller version. Also, by the way, you can get a big version, which I think is like twice as tall, and in that one you can fit like an iPad or something. So yeah, that was everything I had to say. All in all, I think it's a great product, and I totally recommend buying it if you struggle with something that you're not supposed to do that much, and if that person is you or someone else that you might know, then I totally recommend buying this. That was it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helped you out deciding on whether you want this or not. Thank you for watching.